Workplace safety and health. Purpose of Subpart A. The purpose is to promote workplace safety and health by establishing the requirements that are related to personnel, workplace activities and conditions, and equipment on the Outer Continental Shelf. Duties of lessees, permittees, and persons responsible for actual operations. The lease or permit holder under the Act will ensure all places of employment that fall within the area of lease or covered by the permit on the OCS be maintained in compliance with workplace safety and health regulations and free from recognized hazards. The people responsible for actual operations include owners, operators, contractors, and subcontractors should ensure the operations control conducted in compliance with workplace safety and health regulations and free from recognized hazards. Recognized hazards mean known as causing or likely to cause death or serious physical harm to persons exposed to those conditions, controlled routinely in the affected industry. Reports of unsafe working conditions. Anyone can report a possible violation of any regulation in this subchapter or any other hazardous or unsafe working condition on any engaged unit for OCS activities to an officer in charge. Once reviewing the report and conducting any necessary investigations, the officer in charge will notify the owner or operator of any hazard or deficiency and initiate enforcement measures as the circumstances warrant. The identity of the person making the report will not be made available unless it is to the officers and employees of the Department of Transportation who have a need for the record in their duties performance. Purpose and applicability of Subpart B. Prescribes the requirements concerning the personal protection on OCS facilities. Use of equipment. All personnel that are part of the subpart must use or wear personal protective equipment when they are within the lease area or the area covered by the permit. All persons responsible for the personnel in this subpart must make sure that the personnel engaged in the operations are wearing or using their personal protective equipment properly. Eye and face protection. Eye and face protector specified in Figure 8 of ANSI Z87.1 must be worn when engaged or observing welding, grinding, machine, chipping, handling hazardous materials, or acetylene burning or cutting. Eye and protector must be kept in good condition. Each type of protector must be marked with the information found in ANSI Z87.1. Head protection. All personnel in areas that have a hazard of falling objects or of contact with electrical conductors must wear a head protector that meets the requirements from ANSI Z89.1. For each type of protector, there are specific marks that must be placed on the head protector according to the ANSI Z89.1. Foot protection. Footwear meeting the specifications of ANSI Z41 must be worn when working in areas or engaged in activities where there is a reasonable probability for foot injury to occur, except when the designed footwear will not protect from a greater hazard. Each type of footwear must be marked ANSI Z41 specified. Protective clothing. Clothing and gloves providing protection against flying particles, molten metal, radiant energy, heavy dust, or hazardous materials must be worn by personnel in the area. Respiratory protection. Respiratory protection equipment must be worn in an atmosphere specified by ANSI Z88.2 and must be the appropriate equipment per atmosphere. Before entering the atmosphere indicated in ANSI Z88.2, the personnel must, Follow the listed procedures in ANSI Z88.2 Section 6 for the proper selection of a respirator and individual fit testing. Trained by Section 7 of ANSI Z88.2 for the proper use of the equipment used and generally recognized short and long-term harmful effects of exposure to atmosphere involved. In accordance to ANSI Z88.2, all respiratory protection equipment must be approved, used, and maintained. Safety belts and lifelines. Personnel involved in an activity where there is a hazard of falling 10 or more feet should wear a safety belt or harness secured by a lanyard to a lifeline, drop line, or fixed anchorage, except when moving from one location to another. All equipment, including safety belt, harness, lanyard, lifeline, and drop line, must meet ANSI A10.12 requirements. Personnel flotation devices. Work vests that meet requirements of 33 CFR 146.20 or a life preserver that meet requirements of 46 CFR 160.002, 160.005, or 160.055 must be worn when personnel work in locations that could have a fall over water, except when wearing safety belts or lifelines. Eye wash equipment. Areas that have reasonable probability of eye injury, such as drill floor, mudrooms, and other areas, must have a portable or fixed eye wash equipment providing emergency relief. Purpose and applicability of Subpart C prescribes general working conditions on OCS facilities requirements. Housekeeping. Instead of keeping the drill floor free of drilling fluid during the activity, personnel involved in activities on the drill floor must use footwear and flooring designed to reduce slipping. All portable tools, materials, and equipment not in use must be removed immediately from the staging platforms and other working surfaces to reduce hazards such as slipping and tripping. Guarding of deck openings. When not in use, all openings and deck accessible to personnel must be covered, guarded, or otherwise made inaccessible when not being used. Blocking these openings prevents a person's body or foot from passing through the opening. Lockout and tag out. When an external source comes to repair or work on equipment, it must be locked out or must be disconnected from the power source or deactivated, unless the performed repair needs the equipment to be powered on. If the equipment has a lockout or other device to prevent unintentional activation of the equipment, the lockout or other device must be engaged while the equipment is being worked on, unless the performed repair needs the equipment to be powered on. Where the equipment attaches to a power source, a tag must be placed notifying others that the equipment is out of service. Warning: equipment is being worked on, or if the equipment's power is disconnected or deactivated, the power must not be connected or activated. Tags must not be removed without permission of the person that placed the tags or that person's supervisor. All the information found here can be found in 33 CFR Part 142.